remove some of the note takers. I don't mind a note taker here and then, but if I mean, I would like people to be on from time to
Yep,
time at the very least, instead of just their note taker,
absolutely. Maybe we tell them, hey, your note taker can't be on unless you're on.
or at least make an appearance from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke with Osvaldo a few days ago and just connected with him, and he shared a little bit. Hey, Aaron, on the mower.
Howdy.
Hey, Fatuma.
Hey, Fatuma.
Shalom to you guys.
Hey, Janelle.
Hi, good morning.
Good to
Hi,
see you,
Janelle.
or good
Good
to
to
hear
see you
you.
guys too. Yes.
Astrid.
Good morning. Good morning, David
Good
and Chris.
morning. It was so good to see. I wish we could have had more time on Tuesday. I know you had to run. Appreciate you
Yeah.
getting on today.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. What kind of work do you do again?
Full-time content creator at the moment.
Content
Oh,
creator.
cool.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's nice. What platforms?
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
want to share a little bit more about what you're doing?
Well, I can let you know what I just left from this morning. I
Sure.
actually just left from the Black Chamber of Commerce in Kansas City. So
Okay.
if you guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, 18th and Vine is currently being like redeveloped. And so my job is to kind of highlight, things that are happening with 18th and Vine, current restaurants that are opening up.
Okay.
But primarily I focus on food throughout like the entire Kansas City metropolitan area. But I use my platforms to highlight small businesses, locally owned businesses, and restaurants, that kind of need like that exposure. But today, like I said, I had the privilege of being a part of the Black Chambers this morning. I had to get up super early. And so I created little content for them that I'm actually going to post here shortly.
Nice. Well, that then makes sense a little bit, how you've got to kind of silo off what you're doing with that and then your real estate business.
Yes. So back and forth. And I'm like, at this point, I'm going to learn how to juggle them both.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm confident you can do that. We can typically do a lot more than we believe that we can. A lot of times our beliefs are limited by the the opinions of others. I have a lot of people in my life who say, "Oh, you're so busy, you're too busy," or I just couldn't imagine doing what you're doing, and you should slow down, and just like you should speed up.
I like keeping busy. That's how I look at it. And I also look at it as my heart is full every single day. It's so much more than just making a video and posting it. Like I'm really making an impact, and I'm creating a lot of new relationships with people here, and I love it.
Yeah, that's good. So is that what energizes you, is making new relationships and people?
Yeah, making an impact, feeling like I'm doing something.
Right.
I don't know. It feels good. It feels real good. Oh, and I have to tell you guys, because I don't want to make it this meeting about me. I had I met almost the most amazing person. They're all amazing, but I really want you guys, if you're on social media, to follow this company. His name is Max, and he owns Max Kettle Corn. And if you guys are in like the City Market, River Market area, he's been down there for quite some time now. He also is at Bass Pro Shop in Independence. And then he's also at the Kansas Speedway twice a year. So Max has been in business for 25 years now with his kettle corn business. And they actually reached out to me. Of course, I created content for him. But what made it so impactful for me is that I got a chance to hear his story. And he told me when he first started, he basically had someone kind of similar to what you were saying, David, not so much of, oh, you're too busy, but they were saying like, oh, you can't do this. And so his model was, you say I can't do it, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And so he, took all his pennies, put everything together. Him and his wife have been in business for 25 years. And so he's trying to think at this time if he should close the business down or keep going because, you know, times have been hard since COVID. So that's what touched me more than anything. He's still pushing through even 6 years later.
I
So it's
love that.
called,
Well, go ahead.
oh, it's called Max Kettle Corn. And I believe he's on all the social media platforms. He's definitely on Instagram and Facebook.
Well, great. Well, I love you being cognizant about not wanting to dominate the time, but we love learning a little bit more about new agents when they're first coming on, and you know where your heart is and what drives you, what makes your heart come alive. I love that. I love that. That's absolutely wonderful. Fatuma, what's going on with you recently?
Shalom. I'm having my my first open house with Hannah today, God willing.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so we're going to go at noon, and we're going to, well, not at noon, at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to try my super tea for the first time and make sure it works.
Yes, there's nothing worse than going to show a buyer a home and to hear that where the
Yes, and
I box doesn't open up. Yeah.
I've
So
never done it
make sure
before.
make sure you update it when you in a place where you have good signal. Update that app, and yeah, to minimize the chance of that happening. That happened one time to me, and it's so disheartening. And what it was is, this will be good for all of you, is make sure all your fees are paid up. I have a special card that gets loaded up from another business of mine, and I had emptied it, not realizing it, and that's on me. And because it varies from month to month, and my Supra monthly fee didn't get paid that month, and here I am showing a home in the middle of nowhere, where there's no signal, and I couldn't, get on. So I had to apologize. It looks so unprofessional, and I'm bringing this up because I will never ever let that happen again. As far as it has to do with me, this was years ago, and I had to go to another place with a better signal. I had to pay my fee and then update the app, and then I could go show the home. Fortunately, they were gracious and with all that. But you get a higher end client, especially a first time, showing them a home, and you do that, and that looks really unprofessional, and they start wondering, is this somebody that we want to do our transaction? And so make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You don't want that to happen. So, which goes to one of the topics I wanted to talk to. One of the ways that we become successful is to spend some time thinking about the worst case scenario. Now, this can easily become pathological. Meaning we can, it can become, where we're just focusing on the worst case scenario. People like that, where, something good happens to them and they're like, yeah, well, but, and then they'll give something negative, or they're like a negative Nancy or a negative Ned, and you just don't like to be around those people because they're always thinking negative. However, it can be constructive in this, that if you think about, what is the worst case scenario? If I don't succeed in real estate, what's the worst case? And you think about that, and then spend some time of how it would make you feel. And if you have a family, how it would impact them. And, and then, at the end of your life, if you didn't do it, the regret that you would feel, and spend a little bit of time with that. So that will help motivate you to do the hard things when it doesn't seem like you're being rewarded quickly on it. Janelle, what's been going on with you?
So I actually got signed up and registered for my MLS class on July 13th.
Good job.
Yay! So I'll definitely be doing that. And then I also signed up for, on July 17th for the board, where I come into the office and
Board duty?
Board duty, that's it. I don't know why I keep forgetting that duty, but I signed up for that. So I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully I'll get some leads that way too. I'm just, I'm ready to get started, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, good job in pressing through, getting through all those things. I know it seems like a hassle. It's like one more hoop to jump through, but I guarantee you, once you get a handle on all of that, and then once you get your first transaction, it's like, wow, and then you see how easy it is. I mean, it's simple, but it takes some hard work and discipline and perseverance, right?
Oh
and
yeah.
um and then you realize it's like, wow, I get paid for this, and if you love people, which I know all of you do that are
Yes.
on this call, you love people. We love working with people. We love helping people. We love bringing value to people. And Astrid, I love how you got passionate about Mac and his story. As we work with our clients, we're going to learn more about their story. Where a person's treasure is, their heart will be also. And when we're working with them on probably the biggest financial transaction of their lives, one of them at least, you're going to see some of their heart come through, and you're going to see the good, the bad, and some of the ugly too sometimes. But a lot of times we get some great, most of the time we get to see the best of some of our clients. And when we can help them navigate through some of the frictions, through some of the speed bumps, and that always happen with transactions, when they see how we've helped them through that, and then to know that you had a big impact on their lives with a massive transaction like that for their home. It's not just a money transaction, but it's their home. It's a mother's nest for her family, and it's a place of respite, for the family. Yeah, I know, after being out in the world and working. But I love how you got a hold. Mac's story impacted your heart, Astrid, and that's really, yes, the money can be really good, but when we think about the people's hearts that we're working with, and helping them, it can be so very gratifying. And when people realize that, they start to share with other people. Wow, Fatuma was so helpful to me, and Fatuma was so helpful with us in this transaction, and she did this and she did this, and we got scared about this, but she helped to reassure us. They start sharing about that, just like Max Kettlecorn. Astrid is going to be sharing about that today. And Chris, would you mind muting real quick? We're picking up a lot of the background there. Thank you, sir. And uh, uh, where was I? So Astrid was, sharing about Mac's story, and when he realizes what she has done to promote his business, he's going to be talking about her and things like that. Um, so what I wanted to get at today was, I know, Aaron, you're on a mower, but think about this. What are some of the things that you want to accomplish through real estate? What are some of your goals? And if you're at a place where you can write them down right now, just jot down like 3 to 5 goals that you would like to see accomplished through your real estate business. And just write those things down, and we'll take a moment for you to do that. If you're at a place where you can do that, just jot them down real quick. Even if you've done this before, the first 3 to 5 things that come to your mind right now. I'm going to do that too. I'll just take a couple minutes to do that here. Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody need any more time? Okay. Chris, you need time, or is that a thumbs up that you're good? You're good. Okay. Fatuma, you good? All right. Janelle, Aaron, Astrid, do you need more time? Rachel?
Nope, I'm
No,
good.
I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to share real quickly some of the things that came right to my mind. Some things that are things that I would regret not having done on my deathbed. If I was at my deathbed and I was, and I was thinking about them, these are some things that I would regret not having done. One is a residential assisted living facility. Getting a home and then creating an assisted living facility for people to spend the last years, months of their lives, and to be able to provide a continuum of care so that if they didn't want to go to a nursing home, they wouldn't have to. We would be able to keep them there. If they wanted to have hospice care there for their last months, weeks, days, we would provide that as well. If I did not do this is just a dovetail of the last 30 plus years of my life coming together to create this. If I don't do this in the next couple of years, I'm going to regret not doing it. The other one is to leave, something for my wife. If I were to go before her, you never know. Um, but I would want to leave something with her so that she would have financial security. And then for my daughters, for their school, for their postgraduate degrees, I want to be able to help provide for that. My sons, I want to help leave a legacy for them, not just a financial legacy or an estate legacy, but just in their character as well. And I'm starting to see some of the fruits of that, of those decades of raising them. And I'm starting to see that and see them develop into men of integrity. It's so rewarding to see that. I want to be able to help my mom. I want her not to have to worry about the care as she gets older. My sister, she has a closed head injury that she got 35 years ago, and she's needed help. And I want to be able to provide help for her when she transitions, when her level of care exceeds the current facility that she's been at for 20 years. I want to be able to provide something for her where my residential assisted living facility will be the last place that she ever has to live, and so she can thrive into that. And a couple of fun things I'm going to throw in there real quick: a 1978 restored Trans Am, Pontiac Trans Am. I want one of those, black, preferably with the gold trim. You know what I'm talking about, Chris, the Bandit. So I want one of those.
Come on. That sounds good.
I also want like a 1980 Cutlass Supreme, fully restored with all the wheels and the rims and all of that stuff going on. I saw this colorful gentleman pull up in one in the parking lot of Planet Fitness, and I had to take a picture of that thing. I was just, I would love just a couple of fun things there with the cars. So who wants to go next?
I will go next.
Okay, Astrid, go ahead.
So I'm going to actually kind of piggyback on your Pontiac Trans Am. That was my very first vehicle when I was 19. It was red. It was so beat up, red with T-tops, and it was so raggedy. I knew nothing about, I think I got like a loan. I think the APR, the interest rate was just insane. It was, I knew nothing about what I was doing. I just saw the car and I wanted it. Needless to say, the car lasted about 6 to 8 months.
But you had a taste of it.
It was fun. I have 2 older brothers, and they love cars. They've had a lot of cars, and so I feel like I was fascinated. So that's what made me wanted to get a Trans Am back then and drive fast. So thanks to my older brothers. But my 3 things. The first one would definitely be currently in my life at this very moment would be like real estate verbiage. I need to get on the classes. I don't know if you guys know everyone else, but I'm literally new to everything. So I want to know everything there is to learn about real estate, not just the paperwork and the contracts with that particular client. I want to learn everything there is to know. And I want to learn that for future reference. So when I get older in my 50s and 60s, I'll be able to hand a baton to other future agents and be able to help teach them, train them, and things of that nature. So it's not so much just for me. I want to be able to help the future ones. Secondly, I want to be, because I'm trying to grow my social media platform too. I want to be trusted here locally in the real estate professional. I want people to be like, oh, that's Astrid. She's good at what she does. She knows what she's talking about. She's, trustworthy. She's not going to scam you. Like, I want to be that person that people go to long term. I want people to tell their friends, Astrid sold me this home, contact her, for your next development, things like that. And then lastly, I want to leave a legacy for my kids with investment properties. So this goes back to the first one with the real estate verbiage. I need to learn everything there is to know before I go giving money for an investment property and things go left. I want to make sure I understand what I'm reading and looking at. And that's
Right.
it.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, your reputation is everything in this business. And there's over 13,000 licensed realtors in the Kansas City metro area. There's probably a couple of, maybe a few hundred who are good, solid people of integrity to work with that you wouldn't question at all. So yeah, that's a great goal to have. Who'd like to go next? Thank you for sharing, Astrid.
I'll go
All right, Aaron, do it.
since I'm in between accounts. So those are all pretty good. I know where there's an old 78 TA in your exact color. It's probably rusted to you all know what now. I tried to get the guy to sell it to me. I grew up with Smokey and the Bandit, so I know what you're talking about.
Right.
But three things really: financial freedom, legacy, and just to leave something. I want to exponentially leave more to my kids than my parents left for, or my dad's the only one that's passed now, but my parents had left before my sister.
Yeah.
So really, and that's all in a short time frame, because as an entrepreneur, any of you guys have done this, they go from negative 250,000 to 500,000 overnight. And needless to say, I'm on the downward side of that. I've had a few things go south in the last couple of years. And, it's not fun, but I know there's always tomorrow, and you just got to keep your head down and keep pressing on. So that's why I switched
That's right.
this thing. Gabe was the catalyst originally, because I wanted Gabe to get in on this, because I knew that if he started this at 20 years old, by the time he was 35, he'd be driving a Lamborghini. And I have too many friends that's exactly, I don't need to mention names. You guys know most of them. And they are literally doing just that because they started when they were 20, 21, 22. So that's why I'm trying to fast pace this and, 5-year plan, if you will. And I'm already a year in. So anyway, that's the three things that I have. Those are the three goals that I really want to hone in on. So with that, I'm going to mute and hop back on more. So thank you, guys.
Love it. Get cutting, Aaron. Thank you.
David, let me jump in. I know there's a little bit of background noise from the place I'm at, but probably the most important thing is to build memories. Life here on this earth, at least, is really about the relationships that we have and the things that we can do. For me, it's the things that I can do that last for eternity. And so one of the goals is just building memories with my wife and our grown boys, who are young men now, and then our grandchildren. So that's probably a really important thing. The other thing is just having, like has already been said, just having the financial freedom to do what I believe that God has put on my heart to do, to want to be generous. I always tell people, man, if you wanted to give away 10,000 a year, but you only made 20, you're probably not going to give away 10,000 a year. So I want to have financial freedom. My wife and I want to be debt free. And then really the other goal is to impact as many people for Christ that I can in the different spheres. And then another practical goal would be like what several have said on here, like we're working on, like we just finished our first flip. We're getting ready to do flip number 2 and 3 at the same time. And just continue to use what God has given me, my gifts and my talents and my abilities to do the best that I can here, remembering that earth is not my home. So I love that song by Carrie Underwood, Temporary Home. Such a powerful thing. So yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. That's great. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I wrote down a few things. The very first thing is just, work on networking, especially as being a new agent. Just want to work on networking, work on leads, work on building client relationships. I think that's going to be very, very important. And work on being debt free, especially, with me and my husband, we really want to be debt free. And then also, just as far as my family goes, like I want to show my children that you can still live your dreams and build those dreams no matter what age you are, just by me doing this starting at age 50. So I want to let them know that they can just do anything out there in this world. So I hope that they can see that just through like living through my dreams. So
Tell us about your children, Janelle.
So I have a 27-year-old daughter.
Okay.
We just found out she is pregnant. So I'm going to be a first-time grandma.
Yay!
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Her fiance just got his pilot license. So he is now official. He's now a pilot. So we're super proud of him and super excited about that. And then my son, he is 22. He is an IT person. So he does a lot of computer hardware things, stuff like that. So he's in that type of world, business world. So, but he has no kids. And yeah, that's where. And then my husband, he's a meat manager for Hy-Vee. So he's been with Hy-Vee now for 30 years. So yeah.
Wow. That's great. Well, in my experience, grandmas can never have enough money to spend on their grandchildren. And real estate is a great avenue to help supply that habit that you're going to develop.
Yes. And I've heard all about it, how, you can never say no to your grandkids. So when they want something, you're going to end up getting it for them.
Right, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to say, Janelle, we have a grandson who is 5, and then our granddaughter who will be 1 here in about 2 weeks. And it is amazing. And then we have some bonus children from another marriage with one of our sons. And so you're right. It is the most amazing thing. Like one of the books that I want to write is about grandparenting, is second chance parenting, because you get through the tough years of raising your children and you learn a lot of things, and then you get a second chance.
That's awesome.
Which by the way, Janelle, I can't wait to meet you and then Astrid too. I love the energy you bring, the goals that you have, and we want to be here to partner with you. So I'm excited about meeting you guys.
Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys again and just being in that office, and I can't wait to see y'all. And thank you so much for allowing me to be in this partnership with you guys. So I appreciate it very much.
Well,
we're excited to have you guys.
Yeah. And thanks for sharing about your family too. That helps. The more I can learn about somebody, the closer I feel and that I can help them, the better I can help them. Okay, we got a couple more. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Fatima.
Okay, so I have my first one. I would like to have the Lord have preeminence in my business and in my person, because in my view, I'm real estate. I'm the most important real estate, because I want God to possess me. So it's important for me because it took me so long to find identity, and I'm not interested in forgetting. And so
Good.
My second one is to have people as my business and not really real estate as my business. It's to really have them as the people that I talk to, because I want the cross to be my what I set for, because I want the horizontal love, which is the love I have for God, to kind of equate to the the vertical love I have for God to equate to the horizontal love I have for men. And I know that is the first and mostly what I'm going to be judged upon. And so because of my third one is because of the first two things, I know that I shall be financially free, because finances is really, in my view, the least of all commodities in the spiritual world. And that if I do,
Oh, you just froze up, Fatuma.
can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah.
Hello? Okay,
Yes,
so I
now.
was saying that if I focus on my gift and do what he told me to do, which is stay in him and stay diligent and not lazy and excellent, then the finances will come, in which case then he is now going to hold me accountable for me to now advance his business. And he's talking about his business, it's going to be about my business, which is my family, my relationships. You know, when you spoke of cars, I thought my husband, I mean, I didn't grow up here, so I don't know much about cars, but I do know my husband liked the 1976 Eldorado.
All right.
And it just would be good. It's good um, to be financially be.
You froze up again, sister.
Hello, hello. Did
Financially.
you
Yeah.
see me? I think it's
Gotcha.
great to be financially be free, but I think that if I am free in my spirit and my mind and my soul, I shall have the things that are promised. And so I'm thankful to come to real estate. I have all the fleshly worries that come with being new, and every day I have to like silence them and remember that God told me to come here so that I shall not lack. But it's the transition phase, like learning not to be complaining, but understand that God is intentional. So I'm thankful. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have overcome so much, and you fought so many, and won so many battles that you already have the grit, Fatuma, that is necessary. Grit is a great book too, that you can read if you like to read or listen to an audiobook. Look up Grit, Grit. But you have that already, Fatuma. Janelle and Astrid, if you don't know some of Fatuma's history, you can look her up on Facebook, and you just recently shared some of that battle that you've
Hmm.
had, and we all have. We've all overcome certain things in our lives, and it's hard sometimes. We're in the midst of a battle, not to become disheartened, but those are the times when we need to look back, and hopefully we've journaled or will journal about them now. It's different battles that we've had throughout the course of our lives, and how we've seen God's hand in them, and the courage rise up in us, and to develop the grit to get through those times. So speaking of grit, Rachel, you are our final contestant here today. Will you share some of your goals?
Yeah. So I'm wanting to first and foremost live my life with integrity with everyone that I'm around or influencing, and to make sure that I'm always pointing people towards Jesus. And I really like to help encourage other people to live to their full potential. I've always really enjoyed that. So just continuing to do that, continuing to encourage people, continuing to push people forward, and see other people grow. I find joy in that. Um, and then, like for myself, just becoming more financially free. This last couple of years has been really rough financially for me, and so just trying to get everything back on track, and you know get my house fixed. um, and yeah, and one day I still want to get married and have kids and whatever, and I'm not giving up on that dream. Even though it's harder as I get older. Um, but yeah, those are the main things that I'm looking at for the future right now.
David, you're muted.
I see. Yeah, I love that. That is great, Rachel. And you have already the DNA within you to for all of that to happen, and as do all of us. We all have the seeds of what we need to succeed, and what we then now need to do is, in what we are doing in different measures, but perhaps a refocus on that, and just put more energy onto those things that will help us to develop what we need to have in order to reach those goals and to manifest those goals in our lives. And so it comes down to, just doing sometimes seemingly mundane things over the course of our lives. There's sometimes when I get to do things that I love to do, and then there's and those things I need to do in order to reach my goals. But there's also mundane things that don't seem to bring a lot of instant gratification, right? That there's a long-term gratification that I'm working towards. And so sometimes I have to be willing to put aside short-term gratification. Like if I'm training for a marathon or a triathlon, I can't eat certain things, I can't drink certain things, I can't do certain things, and I need to focus and I need to do things. I love to swim, but I'm swimming so much now I'm starting to get a little tired of it, and I've got to start biking and running more. And I used to love to run, and now at 59 3/4, I don't like to run a whole lot anymore. So, but I have to get out there and make myself do it because I have a goal, because I'm starting to feel better. Like I'm getting in better shape. I have more energy. I have more focus, and I'm starting to see, some of the benefits of that. But initially, getting out those running shoes, breaking them out and running again is not fun. But the benefits that I get, the rewards that I reap, can sometimes, where it used to take, a couple of weeks for me to get into running shape for a triathlon, and now it's taking a lot longer than it used to do. So, and just writing those things down, and if I may encourage you to, those goals that we have, the things that we would like to see happen in our lives, if you could just write those down and put them in a place where you will see them on a regular basis, whether it's your bathroom mirror or a mirror in your bedroom, or write them down on a sticky note and put them where you can see them every day, so you're focused on those things. And then you have to also reverse engineer it. Okay, in order to get to this place, I've got to do this, and these things daily in order to get to that. And then I got to be able to see that. And then there's different things. If you've ever read Atomic Habits by James Clear, phenomenal book. There's little things that we can do to reward ourselves, even though we're not feeling the full reward of the big goal that we want. We implement little rewards. So if I do this, 5 times this week, if I make cold calls or do open houses, if I do a certain number of open houses, I get to take myself out to dinner or whatever. Whatever you design some kind of reward that makes you feel good, and you reward yourself with that. Different things. And so if we just have to be able to reverse engineer it, but then it takes discipline, and then to hang around other people who are doing similar things, right? That's part of the benefits of this mastermind, is you've got people who have similar lofty goals in their lives, and who are doing things every day or on a regular basis to meet those goals. And then you get encouraged, and it's like, okay, I'm not the only one, that's not feeling, the reward of my big goal right away. And there's other people who are doing it, and there's other people who have done it, and I get to see, and get to be encouraged by listening to them as well. So any thoughts about that?
Can I just add something? I want to say something to Rachel. Just bursting out of me.
Get it out.
So Rachel, in Christ's love, I want to say to you, you said, I still have the goal of getting married someday. And then your immediate words were, even though it's getting harder as I am getting older. And so you have given yourself the reason. And so what I am saying to you is that any man, the man, not any man, the man that is called for you will be very blessed to have you. You have such excellence about you. And so if I were you, I would start saying, thank you, Lord, for my marriage, because that is what he said before he rose.
That's good. Yes.
Lazarus from the dead. He said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father, for you hear me. So maybe, David just said to put stuff on your mirror. So maybe every morning you should say, "Thank you, Lord, for my
Oh, I do.
God marriage." Okay, well then don't be saying, even though it's getting harder, because you're gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever. You are in the infancy of your existence. And so I believe in you and I believe for you, and I will be very excited to dress up for your wedding. You better invite me.
That's great. I love that. I love that. That's wonderful.
David, the thing I would add is this, that we become like the top 5 people we hang out with. And I'm in the process of going through another book with a dear friend. And it's so true. Like we become like the top 5 people we hang out with. And when you hang out with people that are stretching you and growing you, it makes us better. And so, and I think the scriptures teach about that all the time. I don't think I know. So that's why I love conversations like this.
Yep, that's true. It's true. Yeah, and there's sometimes where the people you're hanging out with are not giving you a great thing. Joseph comes to my mind. He went through a lot of time where he was not hanging out with some encouraging people, but he trusted in the Lord and he believed his destiny. I mean, he had a dream, couple of dreams early on, and he clung to those things. And all of us here, I bet, through at some point in our lives, we've had something of excellence that has been birthed in our heart. And sometimes we forget about it, but if we go back and we remember, I really believe that I have the power, Astrid, to have an impact in the whole Kansas City metro area. And I believe that I have the ability to influence a whole population, a whole city, a whole metro area, and I have that capability within me. And then we do little things to walk that out, and to believe in that instead of saying, "Oh, who'd want to listen to me?" It's like, who wouldn't want to listen to me? You know, I've got a lot that I need to share. I want to really have an impact and an influence, not just on individuals. Yes, I want to do that, but on masses of people as well. And some of us have bigger callings for that as well. But whatever that is, whatever the calling is in your life, walking it out, even in seemingly small ways, like Fatima was talking about, speaking that, I'm speaking a husband, and I'm not, I don't want a husband. I already have a wife, and I'm wonderfully happy with that. Uh, is this being recorded, Rachel? I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Yes,
But
it's being recorded.
that's all right. Yeah, just put this on our Facebook page, the public one. No, I'm just kidding. So you know what I'm talking about, and then believing that about ourselves. If I have the ability to dream and conceive of those things, I absolutely have the ability to walk it out. And we know that most people don't walk out the fullness of what they were called to do. They just don't. Most people don't. We don't have to be those people, and we don't have to listen to those people if they're trying to get us to calm down and slow down, right? We need to believe what was placed in our heart, believe that it was there, and remember how it makes us feel when we think about that, when we think about doing great things or small things for people. I get to help a dear friend and his wife find a place to live. They're living out of their car. I get to do that. I get to have an impact on just these 2 people here. And that I'm excited about that. And I'm excited that I can partner with other people in my life that help me, get that done. And so grateful for that. And so, you have joined a group of people who absolutely believe in making big things happen. So believe it about yourself. And when you're having days or moments where you're not believing about yourself, give me a call, give somebody here on a call. Make sure you get on these masterminds so that you can continue to be encouraged and hear good, positive, encouraging things from people in your life. Is there anything else that we want to, as we get to close here, is there anything else that we need to say?
I want to add that I met my husband and got married in 6 months by the grace
Awesome.
of God.
Well,
So
he
it
saw
happened.
something wonderful. He saw something wonderful, and he knew he better grab it, and that it's more important than an El Dorado.
Praise Yeshua, but I'm speaking over Rachel, that those words that I spoke, I really spoke them
Yeah.
from belief,
Yeah.
and that because they are true.
Yeah.
And you're
Amen.
appreciated. So
Yeah.
have a great day. Thank you so much for all the pouring in. Like I'm taking a lot out of this, and so I am very thankful for these. That's why I don't miss them.
Good. Well, thank you
So
so
thank
much,
you.
everybody, for jumping on. Bless you, and reach out if I can help with anything. Take care.
Thank you so much, David. You have a good
Take
week
care.
as well.
Bye, Astrid.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye, Janelle.
Bye.